Hello, everyone. Welcome to English with EduWorld. Today, we will practice English with a natural conversation. Listen slowly and enjoy the rhythm of real English.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kenny. And she's Anna. Stay with us. This lesson will help your English sound more clear, smooth, and confident.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to English with EduWorld. I'm Anna, and I'm really happy you're here with us today because we're talking about something that can completely change the way you sound when you speak English. We're diving into the real secret behind natural pronunciation.
And I'm Kenny. If your goal is to sound clear, smooth, and confident when you speak English, not perfect, just natural, then you're in the right place. Make sure to subscribe and stay with us, because today we're giving you something you can use immediately in real life.
A lot of learners tell us the same thing. They say they know vocabulary, they know grammar, and they understand English pretty well. But when they speak, something still feels off. They don't feel natural. They don't feel fluid, and sometimes they don't even know why.
Yes, and many people try to fix this by focusing only on individual sounds. They practice the, or r, or v, which is helpful, but natural pronunciation is so much more than single sounds.
It's the rhythm, the stress, the music of English that truly makes you sound clear and confident.
Exactly. And here's the interesting part. Natural pronunciation doesn't appear magically with time. It appears with habits. Small, simple habits that train your ear to hear English differently and train your mouth to follow that natural flow without thinking so hard.
And that's what I love about what we're teaching today. It's not complicated, it's not technical, it's not about memorizing rules. It's a 3-step method you can use anywhere, listening to music, watching a show, walking, cooking, whatever fits your day.
Yes, this is pronunciation for real life. Because you don't master pronunciation by reading charts. You master it by hearing real English and letting your mouth copy the natural rhythm a little bit every day.
And this method grows inside you slowly, almost quietly. You don't feel pressured. You don't feel overwhelmed. You just start noticing that your English sounds smoother and easier.
And I want learners to understand this from the beginning. Natural pronunciation is not about losing your accent. It's about being clear. It's about being understood. It's about feeling comfortable when you speak, so your ideas come out naturally.
Yes. When your pronunciation becomes natural and comfortable, everything gets easier. Your conversations, your confidence, your listening, everything. English stops feeling like a performance and starts feeling like a normal voice inside you.
And the best part is that this method works for every level. If you're a beginner, you can start today with simple phrases. If you're advanced, this will help you move into automatic, natural patterns.
And today, we're going to show you how each step works with real examples and real conversations. Nothing theoretical, nothing complicated.
These steps are connected. When you use them together, your ear and your mouth start working like a team. English begins to flow out naturally.
So if you've ever said, I want to sound more natural, but I don't know how, then you're in exactly the right lesson.
And by the end, you'll have a simple daily plan you can actually use in your normal life.
So get ready. Your English is about to sound smoother, clearer, and much more natural.
Shall we get started?
Let's begin with step 1.
So, Kenny, let's start with the first step because this one is the foundation of everything. If learners only did this step every day, just a few minutes, they would already hear a big difference in how English sounds to them and how they speak it.
Yes, this step is really important because before your mouth can sound natural, your ear has to recognize the natural sound of English. English isn't just words, it's rhythm, it's stress, it's the rise and fall of sentences. When you start hearing those patterns, everything becomes easier.
Exactly. Many learners try to fix their pronunciation by attacking individual sounds one by one. But when you do that without understanding how everything connects in real speech, the result feels choppy and slow. You sound like you're reading, not speaking.
And that makes people feel frustrated because they practice a lot, but they don't hear improvement. But when your ear finally starts catching the natural flow of English, the brain relaxes. You stop fighting the language, you start absorbing it.
And I love that word absorbing because that's exactly what this step is. You're not analyzing, you're not studying. You're just noticing how English actually sounds when real people use it in real conversations.
Yes, think about connected speech. Think about how native speakers blend words together. Instead of saying going to, people say gonna. Instead of want to, you hear wanna. But none of that feels natural until your ear gets used to it.
And that's why this step is so important. You're teaching your brain, hey, this is what English really sounds like. For example, take a simple question like, what are you going to do? In natural English, it often sounds like, what are you going to do? And when learners start hearing those natural patterns, something amazing happens. They stop hearing English as a series of separate words. They start hearing it as a melody, and when you hear the melody, you can copy it.
Yes, and copying becomes much easier, but the first step is recognizing it. For example, when someone asks, "Are you ready?" The important part is the stress on ready and the rising tone at the end. Your ear has to catch that before your mouth can produce it.
And what helps a lot is focusing on short, everyday phrases. When you hear, how are you doing, don't break it into pieces. Listen to the natural version, which often sounds like, how are you doing, and just take the whole phrase as one sound.
And here's something many learners don't know. You don't need to understand every word perfectly. You don't need to write phonetic symbols. You don't need technical explanations. Your brain learns best when it hears real English repeatedly without pressure.
Yes, the goal isn't to decode every sound. The goal is to let your ear get used to the flow. When you hear something like, I gotta go, don't worry about why I gotta becomes gotta. Just accept the sound.
And once you accept the sound, your brain starts recognizing it everywhere. That's the real magic. Suddenly, you hear English differently.
Another great thing is that you don't need an hour. Even 5 minutes a day can change everything. A short podcast clip, one scene from a show, a single conversation.
Yes, and the trick is noticing. For example, if you hear someone say, is he busy? Pay attention to how is he blends naturally. Is he busy?
And you can do this anywhere, on the bus, while cooking, before bed, during your break. It's not a study session, it's just listening for the rhythm and the music of English.
And something important, don't judge yourself. Don't think, oh, I didn't understand that sentence. That's not what this step is about. This step is about exposure, just letting your ears swim in natural English.
And when your ear starts recognizing the sound of English more naturally, your mouth will follow. You'll begin to mimic those patterns without noticing.
Yes, because you can't imitate what you can't hear clearly. That's why tuning your ear is the first and most important step.
And when that pattern becomes familiar to you, the next step becomes fun and much easier. Because step 2 is all about letting your mouth join the music your ear has already learned. So let's go to step 2 and show learners how to transform that listening into natural, confident speaking. Now that learners understand how tuning their ear works, this next step becomes much easier and much more fun. Because step 2 is when they actually start feeling the rhythm of English inside their own mouth.
Yes, this is the moment when English stops being something you hear and becomes something you do. Step 1 lets your ear notice the music. Step 2 lets your mouth join that music. And when those two things work together, your pronunciation suddenly starts sounding more natural.
And the key word here is mimic. Not repeat robotically, not force every sound. Mimic like you're matching the energy, the rhythm, the tone of a real speaker. It's the same way children learn their first language, and it works beautifully for English too.
I always tell learners, you don't learn pronunciation by thinking, you learn it by copying. But copying the right thing, the melody, the emotion, the movement.
And that's why shadowing is so powerful. You hear a phrase and you try to say it at the same time as the speaker. You don't worry about perfect timing. You just try to follow the rhythm.
And what's interesting is that the first seconds usually feel messy. You miss words, you stumble, but that's exactly what's supposed to happen. It means your mouth is waking up. It means you're training the muscles to move differently, faster, smoother.
Yes, exactly. And I like to think of it like dancing. The first time you follow someone else's steps, you step on their foot or you lose the timing. But after a few tries, your body starts remembering the movement. Pronunciation works the same way.
One thing that helps a lot is starting with short, everyday phrases. Something like, "How are you doing today?" And instead of saying it word by word, you shadow the natural version. "How are you doing today?" Even if your timing isn't perfect, your mouth starts feeling what real English sounds like.
And the mouth loves repetition. If you take that same phrase and say it 3 or 4 times while listening to a native voice, the rhythm becomes familiar. It becomes easier to say without overthinking.
Another great practice is pausing a clip and repeating a phrase with the same tone and emotion. For example, if you hear someone say, "I can't believe this," you pause and say it with the same surprise.
Yes, the emotion is what makes your pronunciation alive. When people copy emotion, they automatically copy rhythm. And natural rhythm is what makes speech sound real.
And I love adding another layer, recording yourself. I know many learners don't like hearing their own voice, but this is one of the fastest ways to improve.
You record yourself shadowing a phrase, then compare. It's like giving yourself a private pronunciation teacher.
It's so true. And what happens is that learners notice small things they never heard before. Maybe their stress wasn't strong enough, maybe their voice stayed flat, maybe they rushed a word, and once they notice it, they can fix it.
And that fixing doesn't take long. Sometimes 1 or 2 more tries and the phrase suddenly feels smoother. You hear yourself and think, that actually sounded good.
And that moment feels incredible. It gives confidence instantly. It makes learners think, if I can sound natural in one phrase, I can sound natural in many.
Another fun way to practice is choosing lines from shows, movies, or YouTube videos you love. When a character says something with strong emotion, pause it and repeat the line with the same attitude. That adds so much personality to your English.
And these little imitations are powerful because they teach your mouth to move without fear. You're not analyzing grammar. You're not thinking about vocabulary. You're just speaking with natural energy.
You can also use things happening around you. If you're walking and you see something interesting, say it in English with the same rhythm you've been practicing. For example, the sky looks beautiful today.
Yes, describing your environment is great because it connects real life and natural sound. It tells your brain, these patterns belong in my daily world. And when English feels part of your world, your pronunciation flows more naturally.
Something else people can do is short emotional reactions. If something surprises you, say, "No way," naturally. If something annoys you, say, "Come on," with a natural drop. Small emotional lines help your mouth react automatically.
And those reactions are gold.
They prepare your mouth for real-life conversations because that's how people speak in daily situations. Short, emotional, connected.
Another trick I like is practicing predictions. For example, I'm going to start in a minute, or I think it'll rain. Saying small predictions with natural intonation trains real-life English.
And the more you do it, the less your mouth tries to return to slow, separated pronunciation. Your mouth begins to trust English rhythm.
And that trust is everything. When your mouth trusts the rhythm, speaking becomes smoother and less stressful. You stop pausing between every word and you start speaking in phrases.
Yes, because natural pronunciation is not about perfect sounds, it's about natural flow. And step 2 gives you that flow little by little.
And when you combine that flow with the listening habits from step 1, you're preparing yourself for something even better. Pause 1 second. Automatic pronunciation. Pause 1 second.
That's where everything becomes easier. And that's exactly what step 3 is about.
Now that learners know how to tune their ear and how to mimic the natural rhythm of English, this next step is where everything becomes automatic. This is the step where English sounds start appearing without planning every detail, almost like your mouth begins choosing the natural option by itself.
Yes, this is when pronunciation stops feeling like an exercise and starts feeling like a reflex. And that's exciting, because automatic pronunciation is what makes English feel natural inside your life, not just during practice.
And something learners need to remember is that automatic pronunciation doesn't come from long study sessions. It comes from small habits that repeat in the same moments every day. That repetition tells your brain, this sound belongs here, this rhythm belongs here.
Exactly. One of the easiest automatic moments is a simple greeting. If every morning you say good morning with a smooth rhythm, your mouth starts treating English like a natural movement. You're not thinking about grammar. You're not correcting yourself. You're just speaking.
Yes, these little phrases are powerful because you use them every day. And when your mouth repeats them naturally, the habit grows deeper. Even something like, how's it going, can become an automatic pronunciation anchor if you say it with natural intonation each time.
Another great automatic moment is reacting to questions. When someone asks, how was your day? And you naturally say, it was good. Placing clear stress on good. That's automatic pronunciation working. Your mouth chooses the pattern without needing guidance.
And emotional reactions help with this step too. If you practice expressions like, wow, or really, or oh no, with real emotion, your mouth becomes used to producing quick, natural English. These expressions come out faster because they're connected to feelings.
That's true. Emotional lines are perfect for automatic pronunciation because they're spontaneous. You don't plan them, they come from your reaction, and that reaction makes the rhythm stronger.
Another helpful moment is using English during small routines. Before eating, saying, let's eat, with a natural fall-in tone. Before leaving home, here we go, with a quick upward rhythm. Before sleeping, time to rest, with a softer drop. These repeated lines become part of your daily rhythm.
And because they happen every day, your mouth starts memorizing them like a physical movement. It's like tying your shoes. You don't think about it, you just do it. Pronunciation grows the same way.
The internal voice is also a huge part of step 3. If learners start asking themselves simple questions in English with natural rhythm, questions like, what should I do next? Or do I have time? Everything changes.
Yes, and once those internal questions appear with natural intonation, your speaking becomes smoother immediately. Your mouth doesn't need a warm-up because your brain was already practicing.
Another great moment is when you feel something. If you're tired and think, I need a break, with a gentle sigh in your voice, your brain connects emotion with English rhythm. That connection is powerful, and it's fun too.
When English becomes part of how you express feelings, not just something you study, the language becomes personal. It becomes your voice.
That's what helps learners shift into automatic pronunciation.
They stop treating English as a separate activity and start treating it as a natural voice they can use every day.
Another simple way to build this step is making quick decisions in English. If you say, "I'll take this," or "maybe later," or "I'll wait," you practice real-life English with natural tone. These decisions happen constantly, so the habit grows fast.
And automatic pronunciation doesn't require perfect accuracy. You don't need every sound to be perfect. What matters is keeping the natural flow. The rhythm does most of the work.
Yes, when you stop focusing on perfect individual sounds and focus on rhythm instead, your speech becomes clearer, and that clarity grows with every automatic moment.
Another exercise is choosing one daily moment as your English sound zone. Maybe your walk home, your shower, your coffee break. During that moment, you think or speak softly in English with natural flow, and your brain makes a connection. This moment equals English rhythm.
And little by little, those patterns begin appearing in other moments too.
And that's the magic of this step. You don't push the habit, you let it grow. The more you connect English to your routines, your reactions, and your emotions, the more natural your pronunciation becomes.
And once learners begin to feel that flow, something changes inside them. They stop doubting. They start trusting their voice.
Yes, because automatic pronunciation gives confidence. When your mouth moves naturally, you don't worry about sounding wrong. You just speak.
And that's the purpose of Step 3, helping you reach a place where natural pronunciation isn't something you try to do, it's something that appears on its own.
Now that learners understand this, we can show them how to use all 3 steps together in real life, so their progress keeps growing every day.
Yes, because when you connect these steps to your daily world, everything becomes easier.
Now that learners know the 3 steps, this is where everything becomes real. Because understanding a method is one thing, but bringing it into your daily life is what transforms your pronunciation. The good news is that you don't need long study sessions. You just need small moments that repeat.
Yes, small moments are the secret. People think they need hours of practice, but pronunciation grows inside tiny windows that already exist in your day, and each step fits naturally into different kinds of moments. Step 1 works during passive listening. Step 2 works when you can use your voice. Step 3 appears during your routines and reactions.
Let's start with step 1, tuning your ear. This step is perfect for moments when you're already listening to something. If you're watching a show, instead of only focusing on the story, take a few seconds to notice the rhythm of a line. Maybe someone says, "Where were you?" And it sounds quick, almost like, "Where were you?" That quick observation trains your ear instantly.
Exactly. And it doesn't need to be a whole episode. Even one sentence can make a difference. Something like, "I'm heading out," or "I'll be right back." Hearing the melody of that sentence gives your brain valuable sound input.
Another perfect moment for step 1 is when you're doing repetitive tasks, washing dishes, folding clothes, commuting, waiting in line. You can play a short podcast, a YouTube clip, or a song. You don't need to understand every word. You're just letting natural English enter your ear.
And what I love is that you don't force anything. You don't pause, you don't analyze, you simply listen. Your brain notices patterns automatically.
Now, step 2 works best when you can use your voice. For example, if you're at home or in a quiet place, take a short phrase from something you heard earlier and repeat it with the same rhythm. If you heard, "I'm walking to the store," you can repeat it naturally as, "I'm walking to the store," focusing on the flow instead of the words.
And this works great with lines from shows or videos too. Maybe a character says, "Come on, let's go." You pause and repeat it with the same tone. That little imitation wakes up your mouth.
Another trick is using vocabulary inside phrases. If the word is comfortable, don't say comfortable. Say, I feel comfortable with natural intonation. Words sound more natural inside phrases.
Yes, because real English is built from phrases, not individual words.
Step 2 also works while describing what you see. If you're walking and notice sunlight on a building, you might say, it looks beautiful today, using natural stress.
Yes, describing your environment is great because it connects real life and natural rhythm. It tells your brain, these patterns belong in my daily world.
Step 3. Automatic pronunciation appears in repeated routines. For example, if every time you leave home you say, here we go, with natural rhythm, your mouth connects that phrase to that moment and it becomes automatic.
Greetings are perfect too. If you say good morning every day with a smooth melody, your mouth memorizes that pattern.
When something surprises you, saying really with real tone or oh no when something goes wrong creates strong pronunciation reflexes.
These reactions move fast. They carry emotion. They train your voice for real conversations.
These reactions are gold. They prepare your mouth for real-life conversations.
Another place for step 3 is your commute. Instead of staring at your phone, quietly ask yourself small questions like, what do I need? Or what's next? These internal questions reinforce natural rhythm.
And when your inner thoughts use English rhythm, your spoken rhythm improves automatically.
You can also choose one time in your day as your English zone. Maybe your shower, your walk, or your coffee break. During that moment, think or speak softly in English.
And soon that moment expands naturally into other parts of your day. And learners should remember that none of these steps require perfection. If your pronunciation feels messy sometimes, that's normal. Messy means you're moving.
Yes, flow matters more than accuracy. If you keep the rhythm alive, clarity comes with time.
And when learners feel a small shift, a phrase coming out smoother, they realize the method works and they understand pronunciation isn't about sounding like someone else. It's about building a voice in English that feels natural.
And that voice grows in simple moments.
And the more they repeat those moments, the stronger the habit becomes. Now that they know how to bring these steps into daily life, we can help them create a long-term habit.
Yes, because consistency is what makes natural pronunciation last.
Now that learners understand how to use the 3 steps in real life, the next question is how to turn this into a long-term habit. Natural pronunciation doesn't grow in a day. It grows slowly but strongly when the routine feels light and sustainable.
Yes, and one of the biggest problems learners face is trying to change everything at once. They try to speak with perfect pronunciation all day, and after a few hours they feel tired or frustrated.
Nothing is wrong with them. They just tried too much too fast.
Exactly. The goal is not to speak perfectly all day. The real goal is to repeat small English moments consistently.
These small moments build the habit much faster than long sessions. Consistency beats intensity every time. If you practice even one small phrase a day, your ear and mouth move forward.
But if you wait for the perfect moment to study for an hour, weeks can pass without real progress.
And one way to stay consistent is using triggers, small actions that remind your brain to switch into English. For example, when you put on your headphones and hear your favorite song, you can shadow one line.
That moment becomes a pronunciation trigger.
Or when you open your laptop for English study. If you start by saying, let's begin, with smooth rhythm, your mouth understands, this is my English voice moment.
And celebrating small wins really helps. Many learners wait to feel proud until they're perfect, but perfect doesn't exist.
A real win is when a phrase sounds a little smoother than before. Saying, that sounded good, gives your brain a reward.
And the brain loves rewards. Even small moments of pride build motivation.
Another way to keep the habit alive is rotating your focus every few weeks. maybe shadowing in the morning for 2 weeks, then mimicking lines from shows, then practicing emotional reactions like really or nice. Rotation keeps your mind fresh.
It keeps the habit from becoming boring. You want pronunciation to feel alive, not mechanical.
And learners should avoid measuring progress by accuracy. Progress appears first in flow and comfort, not in perfect sounds.
Yes, natural pronunciation is about rhythm and clarity, not perfection.
You don't correct every detail while speaking, you just keep the flow.
And a great sign of progress is when natural expressions appear automatically. You drop something and say, "Oh no," without thinking, or you hear something surprising and say, "Really?" naturally.
These small moments mean something big is happening. Protecting your English environment also helps. This doesn't mean listening to English all day. It means small doses. 10 minutes of a show, a clip, a song.
These small sounds keep your rhythm active.
And if learners stop practicing for a while, there's no need to worry. Once your ear and mouth learn natural patterns, they come back quickly. Pronunciation is a physical skill, and physical skills return fast.
Yes, it's like riding a bike. Even after a long break, your body remembers. Pronunciation works the same way.
Another great trick is using English to motivate yourself. Saying, "I'm improving," or "keep going" with natural intonation trains pronunciation and confidence at the same time.
These motivational lines build emotional connection to the language, and learners should avoid trying to sound like native speakers on day one.
That creates pressure. Natural pronunciation should feel comfortable.
Rhythm matters more than accuracy. With enough repetition, accuracy grows naturally.
I love the idea of identity moments. Small moments where you imagine yourself speaking confidently. You think, "This is my English voice."
Even alone, these moments build strength.
Yes, pronunciation is a skill, but it's also identity. When you feel like someone who can speak naturally, your voice follows.
Challenges help too. Maybe one week focus on natural questions, another week on emotional reactions. Small challenges make progress visible.
And seeing progress, even small progress, keeps you going.
And after a while, something amazing happens. You're speaking English, and suddenly a phrase flows out smoothly without effort. And you realize that sounded natural, and it feels real because it came from you.
And now we can finish with a final reflection to connect everything emotionally.
Perfect. Let's wrap it up.
You know, Alex, after walking through these 3 steps, I keep thinking about something important. Natural pronunciation isn't just about sounding good. It's about finding your voice in English. A voice that feels honest, comfortable, and real.
Yes, many learners focus so much on avoiding mistakes that they stop trusting their voice. But when they start hearing English differently and letting their mouth follow that rhythm, something opens inside them. They feel capable again.
Exactly. Natural pronunciation doesn't come from perfection. It comes from connection. Every time a learner listens to a natural phrase, every time they mimic a line with emotion, every time they say a simple reaction like nice or really with real tone, they build a new pattern in their mind, and that pattern grows quietly.
You don't always notice it day by day, but suddenly a moment surprises you. You greet someone and good morning comes out smoother, or you answer a question and your intonation feels natural.
Those moments prove the method works. And I love that small moments are enough. Learners don't need to remove their accent. They don't need to sound like someone else. Their voice in English can still sound like them, just clearer, more confident, more natural.
Yes, and when learners stop chasing perfection, they relax. And when they relax, English rhythm finally has room to appear.
That's what we want for everyone listening. We want them to feel free, free to try, free to speak, free to make mistakes, free to sound human. Natural pronunciation isn't about controlling every sound. It's about letting English become part of your expression.
And once people stop fighting the language, English starts cooperating with them. The ear understands more, the mouth moves more easily, the rhythm becomes familiar.
And I hope they remember that this journey is built on small steps. One phrase, one sound, one moment. That's all it takes.
And when they feel frustrated, they should remember this method isn't about speed, it's about repetition. If they keep listening, keep mimicking, keep bringing English into daily moments, their voice will grow naturally.
And one day, without forcing it, they'll speak English and hear a rhythm they never had before. And they'll think, that sounded natural. I did that.
And it will feel real because it is theirs.
So to everyone listening, keep going. Keep tuning your ear. Keep imitating the melodies you love. Keep creating English moments in your day. These small actions are building something big inside you.
And remember, your pronunciation doesn't define your value. What matters is clarity, confidence, and connection.
And you should be proud. Natural pronunciation takes patience, but it gives you a powerful gift, confidence in your own voice.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you feel inspired to live your English, not just study it.
Thank you for listening. This is English with Ed World. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the channel.
And come back again for the next lesson. Keep practicing. Keep going. See you soon.
See you next time.